It's easy to dream about change, but actually transforming who you are into a new identity, that's a different level of commitment. If you're there and you're looking at the calendar and you're like 2024 is almost over, we are 3 months away to 2025, and you're like, where has the time gone? I'm asking myself the same question. Now, I'm one person who I don't believe you have to wait for the new year to reinvent yourself, to change your habits, and to transform yourself into this new version you envision yourself being. Today's topic, we are going to be discussing about a very interesting topic. We are going to talk about how to shift our identity and reinvent ourselves before 2024 is over. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gladys. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's get into the video. First is to define who you want to become. Clarity is key right here. You cannot shift your identity if you do not know who you want to become. The number one thing I can recommend here to do is to ask yourself questions such as, what qualities that the person I want to become embody? What are her habits or her daily routines? And another question you can also ask yourself is, how does this person handle uncomfortable situations, uncomfortable conversations with other people? When you have clarity, you know exactly what you are working on. You know exactly how you are envisioning this person to become, like all the things that you need to work on, because you have a clear path that you want to follow. Next is aligning your environment with your desired identity. If you are there and you're wondering like what's the basic things that you can start so that you can shift your identity and become this new person, you need to check your environment matters a lot. The people you surround yourself with, even small things that sometimes we overlook, like your space, like cleaning your space, whether it's your office, maybe at home or at work. It really matters, especially the people you choose to surround yourself with. Are these people aligning to where you want to go or to the person you want to become? Are these people doing things that you are looking up to? Like, for example, right now for me, I am choosing so much and I'm really invested into having people around me who are doing great things for themselves. People who, when I look at them, I want to step up my game. People who, when I look at them, I'm just like, how do they do it? They do it with so much grace. Yes, it's not easy, but I do love the way these people carry themselves, present themselves. Your identity really matters, and that's why you need to be very wise and to really pay attention to your environment. This is something that you also want to put into consideration if you want to really change your identity. Next is letting go of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are beliefs that you have for yourself that they tend to hold you back. These are beliefs such as, maybe you're there and you're always telling yourself, I'm not good enough, nobody has ever made it in our family, like, so why, what makes me think that I can make it? Things like, my colleague is better for that role, I'm not qualified enough. Or you think like, I cannot shop in that place because it's not for people like me. Those kind of beliefs that tend to hold you back. And I am here to tell you that limiting beliefs are the worst kind of beliefs you can hold for yourself. They make you feel like you cannot do anything. They make you feel not qualified. When you conquer limiting beliefs, you will put yourself in rooms where you never imagined you're supposed to step in. You're going to be having conversations with people and you're like, I never imagined I would sit at the table with this kind of people, because you're choosing not to let your limiting beliefs stop you. Now, it's so hard to challenge limiting beliefs, especially if it's something you've always been clinging to, like, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not worthy, and so forth. There's something you can do about it. You want to appear as the person you want to become. Let's say you're struggling with confidence. Maybe in the morning you go on your mirror and you're like, I am so confident. You need to be telling yourself these things. I know it may sound like childish, like, why would you go to the mirror and you're talking to yourself and saying, I'm confident, I love myself? It seems silly in the beginning until you start doing it and you see the dramatic change that's gonna come on your life. I used to do this, and right now it has helped me so much to become confident. I feel so much at peace with so many things that I used to struggle with before, because I chose to challenge these limiting beliefs. I'm one of those people who used to be like, I'm not really confident. I feel like maybe I've been called to do something and then I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. And I would literally stop myself because I feel like I'm even shaking. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. And it's not like I don't know, but it's just that there's these limiting beliefs in my head that makes me feel like I'm not capable. When you conquer your limiting beliefs, you are for sure on the direction of changing your identity and becoming this person that you envision to be. Next is adopting keystone habits. Habits are the most important thing you can do for yourself. You want to build habits that are helping you to become the person that you want to become. Now, the best advice or the best book that I can tell you, hands down, you need this book if you're struggling to build good habits, is Atomic Habits. This book, I think I had mentioned about this book some time back, and let me just read you something. It says, many people begin the process of changing their habits by focusing on what they want to achieve. This leads to outcome-based habits. The alternative is to build identity-based habits. With this approach, we start by focusing on who we wish to become. Now you are not working on results, you're working on identity because you want to become this person. And he continued to give an example that really blew my mind. And he said, imagine two people resisting a cigarette. When offered a smoke, the first person says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. It sounds like a reasonable response, yes, but this person still believes they are a smoker. They are hoping that their behavior will change while carrying around the same beliefs. They still believe that they are a smoker. The other person says, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. Do you see what I'm saying here? This person already identifies as someone who does not smoke, whereas the first person, there's still room for them smoking, but this other person, you can see they don't identify as a smoker. It's a small difference, but it's really big. And this is where we see what identity does to you. You need to identify as someone who is the person you want to become. Let's say you want to identify as someone who's fit. What do? You say, I am a fit person. And what does a fit person do? They wake up in the morning, they go to the gym, or they work out in the evening, or they are very mindful with what they eat. They are very mindful of whatever they put in their body. They are very mindful with taking care of their body, their skin. Now, do we see what habits can do here? Honestly, this book, I could preach a lot about this book, but this book is so great with helping you to become the person you want to become when it comes to building good habits. Next point is tracking your progress and celebrating your wins. I think most people, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I used to feel like you are supposed to be waiting for people to celebrate you. Maybe it could be let's say birthdays, for example. Let's say a milestone. You've been going to the gym, you're trying to lose some weight, and you're waiting for someone to like tell you, oh, by the way, you've lost weight, you're looking good. And whenever you don't receive this kind of compliments, you feel like you are not really doing it. You need to be your own support system. You need to be giving yourself these accolades. Yes, they can come from other people, but make sure you are giving yourself these things. Like, for example, I was struggling so much when it came to waking up in the morning and snoozing my alarm. It was a struggle, and I think I've struggled with this for a very long time. And I started changing my mindset into, because I was like, this is the person I want to become. I want to become a person who's so time conscious. Like, I don't want to snooze the alarm when I wake up, and that means I need to go to bed early. So I identify as someone who goes to bed early because I don't like snoozing my alarm in the morning, because I don't want to keep on rushing. I love slow mornings so much. I don't like rushing while taking breakfast. I don't like rushing, and then when I'm going to work, I'm like, I forgot something at home just because my time wasn't like on my side. Now, I started congratulating myself. I even got myself a perfume. I was just like so happy with myself. Like, wow, this is such a milestone. You've been struggling with this, and now you no longer snooze your alarm. Yes, I have days where I'm like, I don't really set alarm. I want to rest and so forth. But the whole point is you need to be congratulating yourselves. Celebrate your wins. You know how much work you're putting into that thing that might seem small to another person. You know exactly the work that you're putting in behind the scenes where nobody is seeing. So you owe it to yourself to congratulate yourself. This really helps you to become this new person that you want to become. And next is to embrace discomfort. I'm so sorry to break the news that if you really want to reinvent yourself, growth is so uncomfortable. But if you're there and you're like, you are so chilled, you don't want nothing so much going on for yourself, then go ahead and take a seat of you being comfortable where really nothing grows out of there. Because when you're so comfortable, like you're just there, nothing grows, and it's so boring. honestly, it's so boring just being there. You have nothing going on for yourself. You don't look forward to work on a skill. You don't strive to improve. You are just there. Like, what's the whole essence of living? You don't, if you do not want to become the best version of yourself. But if you're there and you really want to become this new person, shape your identity and transform into the best version of yourself, you need to be very comfortable with being uncomfortable. You need to face your fears heads on. You know what you're struggling with. I was struggling, and it's much better right now, but I was struggling so much with anxiety. You need to face your fear. For me, I was facing the fear of anxiety. You need to know what your fears are. Some people, it's like public speaking. It could be you're given a task to present and you felt so scared that you cannot do it, so you have fear of speaking to people. Whether that will require you to sign up for a course and learn public speaking, whether that will require you to wake up and maybe press your phone on record and act as if that is your audience and talk to them, and just to get some confidence out of it. You need to be comfortable with facing your fears, because there's really nothing, honestly, there's nothing you'll ever get with being comfortable. It's just so horrible. I've been there, done that, nothing came out of it. And I'm here to tell you that if you want to become the best version of yourself, if you want to change your identity, you really need to do things that are out of your comfort zone. Face your fears, send the mail, walk into that office because you know you have all it takes. And if you really do not have it, you can learn. You need to know that you can sit on that table with those people because they still breathe the same air like you. And there's really nothing extra with them that you do not have or that you can never work on and become that. And you just need to have some level of delusion and work for yourself. Next is to prioritize mental and emotional wellness. When it comes to wanting to shape your identity and all of those good stuff to become the best version of yourself, we mostly focus on physical things. But right now, I don't know if it's coming with age or it's just growing up or adulthood, I don't know. But if there's something I'm really prioritizing right now, and I want you to prioritize it too if you are not already doing so, is your mental and emotional wellness. You want to practice mindfulness. You want to take your time and journal. Oh my goodness, if you don't journal, please start journaling. It's such a free therapy you can give for yourself. Journaling is where you're putting your thoughts on paper. If you are like me and you don't like sharing too much about what's going on with yourself with a lot of people, which is not even recommendable, not unless it's a therapist or someone you really trust. You put down your thoughts on paper. It's so good. It's just like talking to someone you trust. You write down your thoughts, maybe what you're struggling with, what actions you think you can take to help yourself. Another thing you can do to work on this is to read. Oh my goodness, please read. Don't be ignorant. There's so much that you can learn from books. I have become so open-minded. I'm more on a positive aspect of seeing things and seeing life just because I started reading. If there's something I'm always looking forward to almost every end month, well, not every time, but most of the time, is just going and getting a new book. I always want to know that I've not had enough information. I still don't know a lot, and there's so many things to learn. And some of these people, they put information on these books, then they're like, what? I've been missing all of this. I wish another person would read this book. I feel like a totally, completely different person. Now, something else you can do is to even put your phone on DND. Sometimes you don't want to be on social media all the time. You don't want to be on your phone 24/7 because it's draining. I am on social media because I am a content creator and I love doing these videos so much. I look forward to filming these kind of videos to share with you guys. And as someone who's on social media, I also know where I draw the line. I don't like being on my phone too much because I feel drained sometimes, and I'm just like, you know what? Let me put my phone on DND. I just want to rest my brain and just rejuvenate and feel good. Prioritizing your emotional and mental wellness, it's so important, because if you lose yourself and you're all over the place with things, you really do not have anything going on. If you're no longer doing this, go ahead and prioritize your mental and emotional wellness. Next is to upgrade your skills and knowledge. Your identity is shaped so much with the skills that you are willing to learn and acquire along the way. Please do not be a know-it-all. And most people who have acquired great wealth, great knowledge, they are smart. There are people who are always keeping up with their skills and knowledge. These are people, when you talk to them or when you listen to them, I love listening to people who are wealthy, who are doing so good for themselves, whether it's an old person or a young person. I love watching them so much on YouTube. I can just play a whole 1 hour podcast just listening to those kind of people because I want to know what they are doing different that maybe I am not. And one thing that these people, they are always saying is that they are always learning and they're always upgrading their skills. Please don't feel like you're wasting money buying a course. I remember one time when I wanted to buy a course, I shared with someone. I don't even know why I shared anyway. And the person was like, I feel like that's a waste of money. Do you really need to buy that course? And let me tell you, sometimes you might feel like you're wasting your money putting your money on books, on the courses, on the skills, but you can learn a skill that can make you a fortune later in life. You can learn something that you might talk about it in a table and it might give you opportunities you never imagined. So upgrade yourself, learn new skills, just do not be a know-it-all. And if you're very careful and if you're a very open-minded person, you will know that you can learn even from kids. Like when I look at kids and the way they laugh because of just silly things we do to them, we tickle them and they laugh. I'm just like, look at the way, like when you look at life, there's so much things to be happy about. This child is so happy just because of this silly thing. You look at the ducks when they're floating on water, the way they're just in the present moment, so calm, enjoying the moment, not thinking about what will happen 2 minutes after that. There's just so much to learn. So invest in yourself. Don't wait for nobody to come and hand you anything. Take advantage of the resources that you have available. I feel like Wi-Fi, if you have access to Wi-Fi, there is a lot you can learn. There's so many free things. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can be able to learn. Do not be lazy and do not be ignorant. You don't know everything, and there is a lot to learn. I tend to take life as school. Like I signed up. I'm already a student of life and I love it so much, and I will continue to learn and upgrade myself, and I want you to do that for yourself as well. Next is to commit to consistency. You want to pick one or two things that you want to work on. Let's just give a very basic examples of maybe something that you might want to work on. Let's say you want to work on waking up the same time every single day and you want to start practicing that on the first week. Something else you want to practice is let's say you want to practice it being mindful of what you eat, and therefore what are you going to do? You'll start meal prepping because it will help you not to be eating just anything because you're hungry, and you consistently work on that. One thing I realized is that when you give yourself a lot of things that you want to work on, let's say by the end of the month you want to have gotten in shape. It's not a bad thing, by the way. You want to have gotten in shape, you want to be earning this amount of money, you want to be have acquired 5 different skills. I just feel like you are putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and there's only so much one can do. Now you want to create or give yourself like 2 things you want to work on and be consistent with that thing. With this you build discipline, and with this you keep on adding little things bit by bit, and you become a totally different person. Because when you put too much things on yourself, it's so overwhelming, and that's why you're like, when you look at it, you're like, I literally didn't do anything in the past month because you had so much things you put for yourself, and the pressure was so much that you could not execute anything. Now give yourself some grace, give yourself at least 2 to 3 things you want to work on, and consistently build on that. And remember, reinventing yourself is not a small journey. It's a journey that it's so worthwhile. It's a journey that I would recommend for everyone. And we want to focus on tiny habits that are going to build remarkable results at the end of the day. And in that, we are going to turn out to be different people. You'll turn out to be a totally different person. You will identify as a whole different person, and you will be so happy with yourself. And that was it for today's video, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please consider giving it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.